Hi, welcome to lessonswithtroy.com. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, this lesson is How to Play by Ear, volume number 2. And in this one, we're going to be finding what's called chord tones in this one basic movable position here. Okay, so in volume 1, what we worked on was the major scale in this position. We were in the key of C here on your 5th fret, and we learned it in front of the bar and also the same scale behind your bar, which gave us a good chunk of the neck that we knew then. Okay, then we found simple melodies within that scale. Well, what we're doing today in volume 2 is we're taking it a step further. And within the key of C, you've got 3 major chords, 3 minor chords, and 1 diminished chord. And what we're doing is instead of finding these notes all over the neck, what we're basically doing is staying within this position. Now, granted, I might start the arpeggio or finding those chord tones a little bit higher and then work down, as you'll notice in your tab. But for the most part, these chord tones are going to be found right here, close to this C grip here. And what that does then is when you work within different keys, then it's real easy just to move your bar. Say you're one to play in D, you're going to move it up here to your 7th fret. And you move all the shapes that you learned today for these different arpeggios over each chord. You move that as well. You move each one of those arpeggios as well. So we got a lot to learn. So let's go ahead and get going here. How to Play by Ear, volume number 2, finding chord tones in one basic position. Okay, so for our next chord, we're working with a G7 chord, our 5-7 chord. What that means it's the 5 chord of the key, and we're putting a dominant 7th on there. Okay, basically, the notes in a G7 chord are the notes G, B, D, and F. G, B, D, F. Okay, if we wanted a straight arpeggio of that, we could play here on our 4th string, 5th fret for G, go to 3rd string, 4th fret for B, go to your 3rd string, 7th fret for D, and then get that 7th of the chord here on our 2nd string, 6th fret. So once again, G, B, D, F. Once again, we're staying in the C grip here, the C position. G, B, D, F. There's just a straight arpeggio going up. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. And that's 5th fret, 4th string, 4th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 3rd string, 6th fret, 2nd string. Root, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Okay, so what we're working with here, with what I've got written in the tab, is I'm going to show you a really nice diagonal line for this G7 chord here with this grip in the key of C. Okay, so we're starting here on the 3rd of our chord. We're getting B here on our 9th fret, 1st string. That's the note B. That's the major 3rd of a G7 chord. So B, and then G, 5th fret, 1st string. Now, here's our first diagonal line here, right? Diagonal lines are great on the resonator because you just can, especially when you're descending the scale or the arpeggio, because you can just pull your bar down in a diagonal line and it gets those notes. So we got G, 1st string, 5th fret. We've got F, that's our dominant 7th of our G7 chord. Normally it'd be F sharp in the key of G, but since we're in the key of C, F natural falls naturally within that key. So we've got G, 1st string, 5th fret, F, 2nd string, 6th fret, D, 3rd string, 7th fret. So B up here on our 9th fret, 1st string, G our root, F our flatted 7th or dominant 7th, and D the 5th of our chord. But notice that arpeggio, that diagonal line arpeggio there. G, F, D. Now, we got an even longer one here when we're here on the 3rd of our chord, the B note. Okay, that's 3rd string, 4th fret. And now we're going to do this diagonal line. string, 4th fret. G, the root of our chord, 4th string, 5th fret. Then F, the dominant 7th or flatted 7th of our chord. That's 5th string, 6th fret. D, the 5th of our chord. That's 6th string, 7th fret. So B, G, F, D. Major 3rd, root, flat 7, 5th. And then you can bring that all the way down to your 4th fret, 6th string. Okay, and that gives a nice diagonal line. We have a diagonal line here, right? 5th fret, 6th fret, 7th fret, all on 1st, 2nd, 3rd string. G, F, D. Move down to your 4th string or 4th fret, 3rd string for another diagonal line here. We got B, G, F, D. 3rd, root, 7th, 5th, 3rd. And that's 4th fret there, but that's the 3rd of our G chord. So I know it's a lot of numbers. It can be pretty confusing at times, but I'm just going to keep saying them over and over again. You're going to get used to it, hopefully, just through repetition. So all those notes work over a G chord in the key of C, right? B, G, F, D, B, G, F, D, B. And what's written in the tab is exactly this. So that really focuses in on playing each note of the chord twice with the very first note, the high note, doing a thumb rake and playing it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's a nice G7 chord. Let's go ahead and move on to our 6th chord, minor 6th chord, our A minor chord.